Welcome to See Yourself TV, and I just hope you guys are having a beautiful, blessed day. Now, if you're new to the channel, this is just a review or reaction channel as well as an informational channel. Hopefully the informational part help you and someone else out, and we just gonna watch some videos and talk about them. Nothing special, but for those that's been rocking with me, I just gotta say I appreciate you so much because I enjoy doing these videos, and like I always say, I enjoy the comments a lot more. But the subs is nice too, but I enjoy them comments because that let me know people was paying attention and listening, and then we can get some discussion across, and hopefully we can contaminate one another to do better things in life. But I don't want to make this intro too long, so let's get it.
Did your pants come unzipped, unbuttoned, anything while you were standing right there?
No.
Can someone turn into what they swore to protect others from? Today we're covering more corrupt cops who were caught for crimes against their communities. Number 3. Marco Burke. What happens when a chief of police suspects that one of his officers is corrupt? A Middle Tennessee State University police officer learned the answer firsthand. Officer Marco Burke was sent to investigate an abandoned car on the MTSU campus. The search was caught on his body camera. The footage captures as he pockets a pill bottle and grabs a bundle of cash. He then makes a report to dispatch.
Just the vehicle is unoccupied. That's it.
He never mentions the items. What Burke didn't know at the time is that the abandoned car was a setup to test how he would behave, and that there were officers watching his body camera feed live. Burke was arrested, and he made this call to his wife from jail.
I got caught up in something, and I got in trouble. I know what I did. They did his thing, and I got caught. I'm so embarrassed.
Police Chief Buddy Peaster decided to set up this sting operation after an AR-15 rifle had mysteriously disappeared from an MTSU police locker. The security footage pointed to Burke. That night, he had entered the locker room 8 times, which police said was unusual. Burke's background check revealed that he was bankrupt. He denied taking the gun and was never officially charged. The weapon has not been recovered. Although the gun's disappearance remains unsolved, Chief Peaster said this sting operation still worked, exposing a corrupt officer. The cash that was planted in the car was real. The pill bottles were made to look like they contained OxyContin pills, but they were actually sugar pills. Burke ended up pleading guilty to 3 felonies and was convicted of tampering with evidence. He faces 3 to 15 years in prison.
Mr. Marco Burke, he out here stealing and all these pill poppers and shit, trying to get on. You know what I'm saying? He's a lawful drug dealer, if you want to put a label on this guy. Besides saying, it's sad that he represents his uniform the way he did. And just think about what he was thinking or going through his mind, what he was feeling in his heart and his body when he had to tell his wife what he did and why his stupid ass got locked up because he misrepresented that badge and his job, his duties of what he's supposed to do. So now you're just another felon that's lost to the system, another felon because you decide to give yourself one for who knows what reason.
Prison. Number 2. Charles Reeder.
Your Honor, please do not send me to prison. I have roamed, but I'm not run. I still have a lot of good left in me.
The man speaking in court is Sheriff Charles Reeder. On November 9, 2018, an anonymous complaint was submitted to the Ohio Auditor's Office accusing Reeder of corruption. It claimed that Reeder was stealing money that was confiscated during drug busts to pay for his alleged gambling addiction. Reeder was charged with 2 counts of theft in office, 2 counts of tampering with evidence, and 1 count of conflict of interest. He pleaded guilty to all charges. During his sentencing, the judge asks Reeder why he took the money.
I took the money, and mind you, this does not excuse it, but from drug dealers that took it from parents of very poor people in this county. That money, regardless of what the state and what the media has claimed in the past years of a gambling problem and that money being used for gambling, was used when there was a tree planted in the name of the Shelton boy.
Reeder claimed he took the money to fund charitable projects and that he paid all the money back. Reeder was sentenced to 6 years in prison on all charges, which will run concurrently. He is now serving 3 years. Number
So
one.
you mean to tell me, Mr. Sheriff, that's representing that mighty fine badge with that beautifully crafted hat, you have a gambling addiction. So you stealing from drug busts, stealing from the evidence, all this other shit, just to fund something that you have a bad habit of. You know, they got numbers for that when you get this damn bad. I mean, this is horrible. You lost your job, about to fucking do time in jail for stealing drug money, stealing evidence in your office, like, cause you the top commander or whoever in your division or in your office or whatever you want to call it, because I don't know anything about police stuff like that. But what we do know is he ain't gonna be employed by them no more, and that his ass got to sit in jail. That's something we do know. Mr. I'm stealing the evidence money, Mr. Training Day.
Number one, Daniel Holtzclaw.
Came to my car, he said, I stopped you because I saw you was swerving.
This is 57-year-old Janie Liggins. She's recalling the night she was stopped by Officer Daniel Holtzclaw for a traffic violation. 2 hours after the encounter, Liggins reported Holtzclaw for sexual misconduct. The Oklahoma City Police Department opened an investigation into Holtzclaw. Holtzclaw was taken in for questioning.
Well, was there anything? An accidental touch, anything?
If she thought it when I pass searched her, but it was nothing as far as I felt like I would do anything as far as sexual or anything like that.
The detective gives him another chance to come clean.
Did your pants come unzipped, unbuttoned, anything while you were standing right there?
No.
Holtzclaw was ordered to surrender his uniform for testing. The results showed there was an unknown female DNA on the inside of his pants, and it didn't belong to his girlfriend. Police began knocking on doors in the area Holtzclaw paroled in hopes of finding the woman. To their surprise, many women came forward with accusations against the officer. 13 women agreed to testify against him. Holtzclaw targeted middle-aged black women who had previously been in trouble with the law, believing they were less likely to report it. On August 21, 2014, Daniel Holtzclaw was arrested. He faced 36 charges, including stalking, indecent exposure, battery, forcible oral sodomy, and rape. Holtzclaw's trial began on November 2, 2015.
Count 27, forcible oral sodomy. Defendant is guilty of the crime of forcible oral sodomy, and punishment is set at 16 years. Count 28, rape in the first degree. Defendant is guilty of the crime of rape in the first degree, and punishment is set at 30 years. Count 29, rape in the first degree. Defendant is guilty of the crime of rape in the first degree, and punishment is set at 30 years. Count 30, sexual battery. Defendant is guilty of the crime of sexual battery, and punishment is set at 8 years.
Daniel Holtzclaw was sentenced to 263 years in prison.
Rushing into action to save a CHP officer. Viral video showing a Good Samaritan running in to help, now part of a CHP investigation. Thanks again for joining us here on ABC 7 Hulu and wherever you stream. I'm David Ono.
And I'm Ellen Leyva. Today we're hearing from the man in that video about why he felt compelled to help.
And Eyewitness News reporter Christian Cordero shares his story and the dramatic video.
Everardo Navarro was on his way to an event in Orange County on Friday when a confrontation between a man and a CHP officer
I was just assuming the officer was making an arrest in that moment.
Escalated. This video is part of the police investigation. The CHP says an officer was walking back to his patrol vehicle after giving the man a verbal warning for bending freeway signs on an on-ramp. Navarro saw the two fighting with the officer in a headlock, so he pulled over and without thinking, ran to help.
When I actually get there, for a split second I didn't know what to do. I just punched the guy in the ribs.
It didn't work. Worried the officer would lose control of his weapon, Navarro focused on freeing the headlock, and he did. It wasn't until later that he realized all of the different ways that day could have gone wrong.
I was not able to take it out of my mind.
have kids?
I was going to a place, and all I can think is my kids.
Haven't quite figured out why he had that instinct, but the CHP.
Man, shout out to them good people, man, in this world. Like, this cop was being choked out by somebody, and you know, these good folks could have been like most people with the camera, all like this and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not even trying to help, just trying to get, you know what I'm saying? How can I say this? Publicity, you know what I'm saying, for them own self, while somebody is there defenseless and helpless. He could have got that gun, it could have went so bad. You know what I'm saying? I just love people like that, putting yourself at risk, knowing you got family, kids. It could possibly end up to be the worst for everybody.
But the CHP is sure glad he did.
It's not very often that you see something like that. Usually it's people just recording and standing by. But I just want to thank those 3 Good Samaritans for helping out our officer.
Navarro is thankful too.
I jumped out of my car because of him, but at the end I was thankful that everybody was okay, including the suspect.
It ended with an arrest. The suspect was booked on assault with a peace officer and resisting arrest charges into the Orange County Jail. I'm Christiane.